So I want to talk about, just for a while, and I hope that we'll kind of, I'd like this to be a discussion as opposed to me just talking. What are some of the things that we notice happening when we're here? And I'm going to kind of break this down into a few different segments. So we said, last time, we said all stress begins with a what? What would we call this? What? Well, what? A thought, right. All stress begins with a thought. That is a perceived threat, this right here. Now, if we are doing it the natural way, where we really are in danger, then we go through this, no big deal. Minute later, 2 minutes later, we get back to normal. Now, if we continue to have the thought of a perceived threat, then we start to notice the fight or flight response continuing in us. Now, at this point, in the short term, no big deal. Our body can handle it. As a matter of fact, I remember watching one lady who, she claims that this is actually, you should deliberately do this from time to time so that you can get better at being here when it happens. But what I'm concerned with is we continue to do this where this is stress, and it starts to turn into strains. Little things that are kind of, we can still function just fine. We can still handle most of the things that are going on in our days without any decrease in performance, but it still is noticeable that something's not quite right, and we're pretty sure it's because we're here. So what might be some of those things that we notice that we could say, yeah, that's probably because of my stress. It's not killing me. It's not, it's less than homeostasis. What might be some of those things? Fatigue? Yeah. Let's do this. I'm going to. Now, we kind of talked about this last time, Josh, right? When we had Josh hold up the bag. Fatigue, and we talked about the secretary I worked with, didn't we? Did I mention her? Where she was just tired at the end of the day, because when the body is in a state of fight or flight, all the muscles, or a lot of the muscles, are contracting, thinking I should be running or fighting. So we hit that one. What other things do we notice that are annoying? Where?
Usually my feet.
Okay.
Or my hands.
Let's play with a couple of these, because these are fascinating. Now, think about, hold on one second, I'll get to you. Think about the fight or flight response. Remember, what was the only purpose for it? The single purpose. To survive physical danger. Now, we said, last time we went through kind of the mechanics of what happens when you're in that mode. Now, why does it make sense that she would have tingling, numbness, hot and cold? This one I'm not sure about yet. We'll get to this one, but why would it make sense that you would have cold hands, cold feet? Why does that make sense? Did everyone hear that? Your blood is going toward not your core, but to your fighting and running muscles. But it is shunting. That's the perfect word, where it kind of stuck. You know when you ever shaken? Is that a word? If I shake your hand and you notice that it's freezing cold, that her hand is freezing cold. Now your hand was warm. But you've especially if they're going to speak next in a meeting. And you go and shake their hand, and it's like, man, that's a dead fish. It's because the blood flow, it's the same thing with the feet. The blood kind of, it has to recruit as much energy, in other words, the sugar in the blood, to fighting and running muscles. You don't fight a bear with your fingers, right? You don't. You fight them with these big muscles. So the blood, trying to concentrate, goes away from those end points, those kind of the extremities. Okay? I just think it's really fascinating, all the things that happen while we're in this fight or flight mode that in the short run, it's just miraculous. In the long run, really makes problems. So, sensations, that's one that I have not heard. I'm going to hold that off for down the road just a little bit on our graph here. Okay.